Hey guys, we're back on the Cushman Trackster. In today's video, it was running really good, but now we have no spark. Follow along, we'll see if we can figure out what's going on. Back a couple of months ago, we had this thing working really well, bombing it around. Everything seemed to be behaving itself. The thing was working great. And then I loaded it up on a trailer, hauled it out to my parents' place to measure, to make the seats. And when I got out there, it wouldn't start. We brought it back to town, unloaded it from the trailer, and here it sits. I suspect some mouse house has gotten into the points when we were driving down the road. There'd be some air blowing around in there. And that's probably what's preventing the spark, but we need to take everything apart. You guys have already seen me do that. You don't need to watch it again. Check up one way or the other. There'll be a link to the video. But let me get this all torn apart and I'll bring you guys back. We'll see what we found. We've got the spark checker installed into the coil wire, and the other end is connected to ground, so that if we're getting spark, this thing should flash fairly bright orange. And we're not getting anything. This alligator lead is connected to ground, and with the ignition in the run position, if we touch it to the coil here, you see how we're getting, with a little bit of diagnosis and playing around, we found the problem. It's actually not the points that were the source of the issue. The problem was the 12-volt lead on the back of the ignition switch was just a little bit loose, so it was taking out the spark. Sometimes it worked, sometimes it wouldn't work. Anyways, tightened up all the leads on the back of the ignition switch and even added in the circuit for the headlights. And now we have a machine that'll run. See if it'll start here for me. That seems to work pretty well. So instead of just wasting this nice little troubleshooting session, taking an hour or so to get this going, we're going to continue working on things. We've got the headlights up on the front here. I've got some nice LED lights that we're going to put on this machine. And the other item is the fuel tank. Let me get things staged up here, and then we can start working on things. We did get the headlights working. Unfortunately, I broke the ground lead off here. There, as you can see, we got the headlight on. The other side, I don't know if it's working or not. But that tells us that the wiring is fairly decent for the headlight, but definitely those headlights have got to go. Let me get set up to swap those out for some nice new LED lights. Despite how crusty these lights look, the hardware seems to be coming off fairly easily. At least on the one side. Chintzy ball peen hammer, but the price was right. There we go. One removed. First we'll have to dig out that bracket and get it off of there. There's our second light removed. Feels like there's a 9/16 on the underside there, or thereabouts. You can grab a socket and an impact gun. We'll see if that'll buzz off of there. Here's a nice LED light that we're going to install on here. Should light up the snowmobile trail quite nicely. Problem, of course, is going to be the hardware. Something tells me that that is not going to work. Maybe it will. I'll throw a link in the description for these if you're interested in getting some. I got some affiliate marketing going on with Amazon. They're a little on the low side. I might want to boost them up, build some kind of spacer so that they stick up another half inch or an inch. But definitely that's a start, get it in the right direction. Let me get the other side mounted and then we'll fix up the wiring. The original wiring used what amounts to bullet connectors here. We've even got an extra connector that we can use when I put the light bar on. Not ideal strippers, but we've got to work with what we've got. These wires on these lights seem to be really nice, like a silicone wire. That's unusual for a inexpensive set of LED lamps. Check and make sure that we're tight. Unfortunately, the original size bullet connectors are the next size up from the ones that we have in the kit. So what I'm going to do, we'll just extract the wire from this rusty old light, and we will transplant it onto the end of the lead here. But I'm going to need some butt splices instead of bullet connectors. So we've got some marine heat shrink tubing and non-insulated crimp connectors, and the advantage to the non-insulated is you've got a good connection, but you'll have to apply some sort of insulation over top. And these are not ideal, but they're what we've got to work with. So because we're using non-insulated, we can go down a size and make sure we've got a good solid crimp. For the ground, it's a little tricky because we've got one wire that's coming in from the dash, that is our ground, and then the other wire that runs over to the far light. Hopefully that will fit in there. We've got our piece of heat shrink on there already. Give it a good solid crimp. And we take our ground lead from the light, and as you can see, we've got some light. Give that a good solid crimp and give those a little tug to make sure that they're on there nice and solid. We'll give the cordless heat gun a try and see how it's going to do for shrinking the tubing. You'll see the glue oozing out of the heat shrink. That's because this is the double-walled marine stuff that has the glue on the inside. Keeps water out of the connection after it's shrunk. Now we'll turn that on and try it just to make sure that it works. Oh. The headlight switch is a little bit flaky. Hopefully it'll clean itself up as we use it. And that is a nice bright light. Now we need to repeat on the other side. I don't think you guys need to see me do it all a second time. I'll bring you back when we've got that done. We've got the lights hooked up. We're in the accessory mode and headlight switch on. On! As I said, that switch has got a little bit of crud in it. I'm thinking that we're going to need to boost those lights up a little higher so that we can get them up over the front bumper. If you can come around the front here, you can kind of see that we're losing some of our light capability at the bottom of the notch, and also that we've got we're not really aiming down, so these lights when they get outside are really just going to kind of disappear off into the distance, not light up the trail right in front of us where we want to see. But that is definitely progress, and I'll come up with some kind of mechanism for raising those up a little bit. I have some ideas. I think we're going to call this one a success. Thanks a lot for stopping by. Remember to check the links in the description for the Amazon affiliate codes, and also I've got merch on Spreadshop. I'll throw a link in the description or in a comment. Remember to like, subscribe, leave a comment where you think we should go with this machine, and we'll catch you guys in the next mess. Thanks for stopping by.